Yo, what's going on, everybody? Get situated here. It's your boy Trey Sense. We got a little bit of a video, a little bit of a review, a little bit of a discussion. You know how we do it here on the channel. But before we get into that, I need something from you. I need you to like this video. I need you to share this video. And if you haven't, would you please consider subbing? We're on the march to 4,000 subs, and we are ever so close. Your sub may be the one to put us over the top. I promise you, it is all free. So what we're gonna do is part 2 of flankers in my collection that I think are better than the original. So no further ado, let's get into it. The first one I want to talk to you about is from the house of Versace, and it is Versace Eros and Versace Eros Parfum. Which do I like better? Well, that's obvious. The slight edge to the Parfum. Now, this one is close because the original is good too. And the dry downs are very, very similar. This one actually has a little bit stronger of a dry down, the original, where the Parfum is a lot smoother, a lot more refined, a lot more calm, where this one is just, it's the EDT. So, you know, the more alcohol in it, the louder the projection. The more perfumous alcohol in it, the lower the projection. So this has a higher concentration of oil versus alcohol. Well, this has a higher concentration of alcohol versus perfume. So this one projects a little bit better. So do you need them both? No, I don't need 2 full bottles of these. I do prefer this one because it's a little bit more subtle, a little bit more refined, a little bit more chill. But I also like the way that this one is a little bit louder and projects a little bit more. It's almost like they do have the same note breakdown, but they just hit the notes in different fashion. For example, the orange or citrus in this one is going to hit you at the top, where this one is going to hit you in the mid. The dry downs are very similar. Again, do you need them both? No. So pick the one that you like best, whether it's the EDT, the EDP, or the Parfum, and roll with it. I went with the Parfum. If I see a full bottle of this one cheap, I may pick it up. But if not, the travel atomizer will do me, because it is it says Versace and everything. So I'm good with that. But that's Versace Eros EDT versus Versace Eros Parfum. The next 2 on the list is from the house of Prada. And we've got Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. Now, which one did I go with? Did I go with Prada Ocean Parfum or EDP, whichever it is? No, I went with Le Parfum. I do think this one is better. And that's tough. This one reminds me of a day at the office. This may be the perfect office scent. This may be the perfect office scent. And when I first smelled this one, which is the original Prada Ocean, I wasn't that impressed. But I did smell it out of a carded sample. When I got a bottle of it and smelled it, I was like, okay, this just smells like a white button-up or button-down shirt and some slacks. It just comes across as very professional, very clean, almost smells like clean laundry. But just very clean, very easy to wear, a great fragrance. Doesn't come across as if you're trying too hard. Woody, aquatic, nice fragrance. Now, Le Parfum. Oh, this is a bad boy. This is a night out on the town. Slight little coffee note maybe. Definitely a woody, spicy fragrance. It reminds me of either Percival or Leighton, one of the 2, maybe a mixture of the 2. Slight variation or slight different from it, but that's what it reminds me of. But nonetheless, it is a good fragrance, a little bit more spicy than the original Prada Ocean. So I think daytime and office, and then I think evening, night out at the bar. They both smell good, but if I had to pick one, I would give the edge to Le Parfum. These 2, you definitely will need them both, because they do take on 2 different ends of the spectrum. So I do like them both, and they are both good, but I have to give Le Parfum a slight edge. Moving along, moving along. The next two is from the house of Valentino, and we have Valentino Uomo, the original, versus Valentino Uomo Intense. Okay. That's nice. They're both really, man, I mean, this is tough. Again, this is close. This is tough because you do pick up on similar DNAs. Again, it's just a matter of, do you want a louder, stronger projection, or do you want a more subtle, smooth, refined? Excuse me. This one also gives me more of a slight aquatic vibe than this one. This is definitely a sexy. They're both sexy. I mean, both of these fragrances, again, this one, I wanted it to be harder than the first one. Again, you can't go wrong with either one of these. You're going to get a nice, masculine, sexy fragrance. Both of these, in my opinion, are dressed up. This one does come across as a little bit fresher, a little bit cleaner, a little bit more crisp, not quite as rich and dense. This one is definitely heavier. Definitely heavier, a little bit more spicy, a little bit more powdery, but they're both good. But if I had to pick one, oh, and this is hard, I have to give the edge to this one. Valentino is one of my favorite houses. I have yet to meet a fragrance from this house that I didn't think smelled good. But if I had to pick one of these two, the original or the Intense, I want to go with the Intense. It just smells a little bit more, dare I say, expensive. But it is good. Again, one last time from the house of Valentino. It is Valentino Uomo versus Valentino Uomo Intense. Both stellar fragrances. Let me get you a couple of cheapies. From the house, from the house of Calvin Klein, it is Defy versus Defy, the EDP. Now, both of these fragrances are all-stars. And if you missed out on the opportunity to own both of these, I still see them every now and then at TJ Maxx for a really good price. I think I caught them both for around $20 something for this one, or maybe low 30s, and the same thing for this one, low 30s. I bought one of them, I can't remember which one, and it was like $50, and I just was like, no, I took it back. And then I ended up catching both of them for around the $30 range. So let's go with the EDT first, of course. I'm just about out of skin, so I'm going to put these in the air. That atomizer's tripping. Come on now, don't do me like that. Wow. That atomizer is not wanting to spray. Don't do me like that, man. Because this is a really good cologne. It's a compliment getter. There we go. That's just not wanting to spray, guys. And I hate that. It's a great fragrance. I did get some on my hand. A little bit leathery. Definitely a modern fragrance. I think if Tom Ford had created this same scent and called it Libre, Ombre, or Leather Bray or something, it would have been a massive hit. This is a good fragrance. This is a good fragrance. I don't know why my atomizer is not wanting to spray, but I will get that fixed and figured out. This is a good fragrance. A really good fragrance, but it is not as good as the EDP. That's just good. A lot more masculine than the original. Dry downs are similar because they do have the same scent profile. But as usual, oh, that just filled the room. This one is a little bit more leathery. Yeah, I mean, this could be a Tom Ford clone of something. I'm not sure which one. Maybe ombre leather. But it again, I think if this was released by Tom Ford, people would be all over it. And I have to tell you, these are two of my most complimented colognes. When I wear either one of these, especially this one, especially the EDP, somebody is always telling me how good I smell. Wore this to the barbershop one day, and one of the barbers walked by me. He stopped. He said, "Big boy, you sure know you be smelling good." He just shook his head. He said, "Man, you be smelling good." And it was this fragrance. It was this fragrance. I got to work, walked in, and one of the girls was just one of the young ladies I work with stopped. "Hey, what is that?" And I was like, "It's, Calvin Klein Defy. That smells good. I like that. That smells good." And it was the winter time too. It was a little bit cool out. Perfect. And not that you can't wear these fragrances in the summer, because you can. You just have to temper your sprays a little bit, especially this one, because it's a little bit lighter. Almost the same scent profile, but this one does smell expensive. This smells like a $200 or $300 cologne. It just does. I know people are not going to say that because it's a $30 or $40 cologne, but this smells really, really classy, really, really gentlemanly, and really expensive. It does. I like it. This smells good too, but just not quite as deep and rich. And for me, that's what I like in a fragrance. I like for a fragrance to smell a little bit deeper and richer, especially if it's going in that direction. Now, if it's a fresh fruity or a tropical, I don't want it to smell deep and rich. But if it's a deep and rich fragrance, the deeper, the better, if that makes any sense. And that didn't sound good, but it is what it is. So, one last time, from the house of Calvin Klein, we have Defy, and we have Defy the Parfum. Both of these are good, are the EDP. I'm not sure which one it is, and I can't see this little writing at the bottom of it, so I think it's an EDP as opposed to a Parfum, but you know. All right, last from the house of Yves Saint Laurent, or YSL, we have the original YSLY, and this may be one of my favorite lines, one of my favorite houses, lines, all of that. So we have YSLY, the EDT, the original, and we have YSLY, the Parfum. Not the Le Parfum. The Le Parfum is in there. That's good. That is so nice. Smooth. What Nick say? You got that butter love, so smooth and so creamy. Yes. This one, fresher, of course. A great fragrance that did not get the love that it deserved, because every last one of the flankers to this has been a bomb. I mean, they are great, whether it's fresh, the Parfum, the Le Parfum, the Elixir, the Parfum Intense. I think I'm missing one, but they are all really good fragrances. This one is fresh, not as fresh as the Eau Fresh, but it's spring and summer approved, early fall approved, warm weather approved, but again, not hot weather like the Eau Fresh, but still good. And this one is just grown man sexy, and that Defy still has the air in here. Just that Defy is really a great fragrance. If you have an opportunity to get that one, out of all the fragrances I talked about on this list, that is the one I think you should get, because for the price, I don't think you will be disappointed. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. Now this one right here, I'm gonna tell you, when I put this on with my JB Butters Egyptian Amber and this, forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. I mean, forget about it. It's over, man. It's a wrap. Now, this one is definitely a modern fragrance. I mean, it's not the reinvention of the wheel. But I'm gonna tell you, it did put some air in them tires. It it did put some air in this tires. Whether you get this one or Le Parfum, I recommend that you get them both, especially if you can get them at a great price, because they are really, really good fragrances, and I like it. I like it a lot. Definitely, again, a modern fragrance. Think sophisticated, think blue with a little bit of woods mixed in there, and that's what you got with that fragrance. It's a really good fragrance, and I like it. I like it a lot. All right, guys, it's going on 4 a.m. So the boy is going to get off of here, edit this video, thumbnail it, all of that stuff, get it up and get it ready for you to watch. I hope you all have had a beautiful, beautiful start to the week. By the time you see this video, it will be Tuesday. So with that being said, and no further ado, I'm going to get off of here. Thank you so much for returning to the scene of the crime. Check the description for the website to JB Butters to get you some Egyptian amber, and my email will also be in there for you to buy you some decants of any of these fragrances that you want. I can even sell you, if you want the Versace Adderalls, I can even sell you one of these. But with that being said, I'm going to get off of here and again get it ready for you to view. I love you all dearly, and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you. It is hard being a content creator. It really is. So I love you all, and may God bless you all. But it is a labor of love. It really is. And I've had so much fun doing this. So I'm gonna get off of here now. But I love you all, and may God bless you all. Until next time, guys. Peace.